Contestants would then travel from state to state aboard a train called the American to learn about each region's history and culture and compete in themed contests ranging from balancing on logs in Hayward, Wisconsin, to building and launching a rocket in Florida's Cape Canaveral. And don't give me some bullshit about how this provides immigrants an opportunity for citizenship, a pathway. No. Just no. We can do that without the accompanying circus, without these ghouls profiting from people's abject misery, because that's what's happening here.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio,
Tumwa, Iowa.
Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
Hey, it's Ashley with Status Coup. Who amongst you wants to watch a reality TV show where we make immigrants compete for U.S. citizenship? Oh, but Ashley, you say, that would be uncomprehendingly barbaric and soulless, and only an absolute monster could conceive of such a thing. Well, yes, I would agree with you, but the Daily Beast reported yesterday that apparently such a monstrosity exists, at least in pitch form. So this is from, again, the Daily Beast from yesterday. So Kristi Noem wants migrants to compete for citizenship on new reality show. Kristi Noem reportedly wants the U.S. citizenship process to play out in front of the cameras. The Department of Homeland Security has been working with writer and producer Rob Warsoff to pitch a reality TV show titled The American, where immigrants will compete in a string of challenges across the country for the honor of fast-tracking their way to U.S. citizenship, according to the Daily Mail. Citing a copy of Warsoff's 35-page program pitch, the Daily Mail reported that the Canadian-born producer aims to celebrate what it means to be American and have a national conversation about what it means to be American through the eyes of people who want it most. Warsoff is best known for producing the A&E reality show Duck Dynasty. I have never seen it. I assume it's absolute fucking trash. Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin told the Daily Beast that the show's concept is under consideration, though she denied that Noem had reviewed the pitch in question. The concept is in the very beginning stages of the vetting process, she added, and approval has not been given or denied. The Department of Homeland Security receives hundreds of television show pitches a year, she said in a statement. Each proposal undergoes a thorough vetting process prior to denial or approval. That is extremely troubling. McLaughlin denied Noem's involvement in the project, though unnamed sources told the Daily Mail that the Homeland Security Secretary supports it and wants it to proceed. Look, I don't know if this is an actual thing that's going to happen, and I don't want to redirect people's anger at the circus, which directs us away from the real things that are happening on the ground right now. Speaking of which, John and I were at a hearing last night in Elizabeth, New Jersey, where a third immigration detention center is being considered.
Absolutely. And the fact is, these are all Democrats. They're supposed to be out there fighting. Why aren't they fighting? Why are they trying to sell a jail to ICE?
This is in an area that has a very large immigrant community. We covered the protests in front of the Union City Administration Building, led by extremely concerned residents, and then we covered the meeting after, where residents of Elizabeth, the surrounding regions, and other communities across the state of New Jersey begged the Union City Commissioners to deny Geo Group, who owns Delaney Hall, and CoreCivic, who owns the Elizabeth Immigration Detention Center, again, within 20 minutes of each other. And they also begged for other ICE monsters to not be able to bid on the county jail that is currently up for sale and rumored to be going to Geo Group.
And now tell me, if you stand outside Elizabeth Detention Center or Delaney Hall, how did we get to this point? How did we get here? Anyone with a shred of religiosity, that everybody stands up and salutes the flag and talks about under God and they have religion? Okay, if you have religion, you have no business having these detention centers.
If you only have time for one video today, turn the circus off and go watch our live stream from yesterday or the public testimonies from the meeting if they are up by now. That is where the real fight is, in the time before an awful thing happens, not after. So again, please keep your eyes on the fight that is going to happen in Elizabeth, New Jersey right now, the epicenter of Trump and Kristi Noem's soulless immigration policy on the ground, because what happens there affects all of us. The idea that this TV show could be pushed through seems outlandish to me, even for these monsters. But the fact that I saw this headline and didn't immediately go, that's not serious, is fucking alarming. This is more from the Daily Beast on this TV show pitch. The program pitch reportedly starts with 12 pre-vetted contestants arriving at Ellis Island in New York City aboard the Citizen ship. So you're hearing me say that correctly. The citizenship. The show's host, preferably a famous naturalized American like Colombian Sofia Vergara or Canadian Ryan Reynolds, will welcome them with a personalized baseball glove. That is insane. Completely insane. Contestants would then travel from state to state aboard a train called the American to learn about each region's history and culture and compete in themed contests ranging from balancing on logs in Hayward, Wisconsin, to building and launching a rocket in Florida's Cape Canaveral, which houses a major NASA hub. MAGA, do you want this? And don't give me some bullshit about how this provides immigrants an opportunity for citizenship, a pathway. No. Just no. We can do that without the accompanying circus, without these ghouls profiting from people's abject misery, because that's what's happening here. These people saw an opportunity to exploit people's misery, and they're taking it for their own profit, for their own gain. I cannot believe that I'm even needing to say this, but if you want people to have a pathway to citizenship, competing over it like a real-life Hunger Games or Survivor Immigrant Edition is not the way to do this, because that's what this is. And if you're into this idea, seriously, I am directly addressing you here. You do not need to watch my videos anymore. We are not hurting for views, and you are clearly too far gone. And if anyone needs a refresher on what Noem's ICE has been doing, I'm going to play you a clip from the House Oversight hearing on Noem's Department of Homeland Security that I played last week in a video. So here is Senator Chris Murphy in the Oversight hearing.
I say this with seriousness and respect, but your department is out of control. You are spending like you don't have a budget. You're on the verge of running out of money for the fiscal year. You are illegally refusing to spend funds that have been authorized by this Congress and appropriated by this committee. You are ignoring the immigration laws of this nation, implementing a brand new immigration system that you have invented that has little relation to the statutes that you are required, that you are commanded to follow, as spelled out in your oath of office. You are routinely violating the rights of immigrants who may not be citizens, but whether you like it or not, they have constitutional and statutory rights when they reside in the United States. Your agency acts as if laws don't matter, as if the election gave you some mandate to violate the Constitution and the laws passed by this Congress. It did not give you that mandate. You act as if your disagreement with the law, or even the public's disagreement with the law, is relevant and gives you the ability to create your own law. It does not give you that ability. Let's start with your spending. You are on track to trigger the Anti-Deficiency Act. That means you are going to spend more money than you have been allocated by Congress. This is a rare occurrence, and it is wildly illegal. Your agency will be broke by July, over 2 months before the end of the fiscal year. You may not think that Congress has provided enough money to ICE, but the Constitution and the federal law does not allow you to spend more money than you have been given or to invent money. And this obsession with spending at the border, as the chairwoman mentioned, has left the country unprotected elsewhere. The security threats to the United States are higher, not lower, than when Trump came to office. To fund the border, you have illegally gutted spending for cybersecurity. As we speak, Russian and Chinese hackers are having a field day attacking our nation. You've withdrawn funds for disaster prevention. Storms are going to kill more people in this country because of your illegal withholding of these funds. Your myopia about the border, fueled by President Trump's prejudice against people who speak a different language, has shattered many of this country's most important defenses. I acknowledge that you don't believe that people should be able to apply for asylum, but you don't get to choose that. The White House doesn't get to choose that. The law requires you to process people who are showing up at the border and who claim asylum. Why? Because our asylum law is a bipartisan commitment, an effort to correct for our nation's unconscionable decision to deny entry to Jews to this country who are being hunted and killed by the Nazis. Our nation, Republicans and Democrats, wrote it into law that we would not repeat that horror ever again, and thus we would allow for people who were fleeing terror and torture to come here, arrive at the border, and make a case for asylum.
So I'm going to say this again. I don't know if this reality TV show is going to happen, but the best thing that we can do is fight tooth and nail against Noem and ICE so that they become so toxic that no producer or channel or whatever would ever consider such an absolutely heartless and batshit insane idea. You can start by drawing attention to the fight in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Tell the Union City Commissioners what you think of their allowing Geo Group and Core Civic to bid on the empty jail that could be used for things that Elizabeth actually needs, like housing or community services, because what happens in Elizabeth affects all of us. And to the producer of Duck Dynasty and anyone else who is working on this stupid pitch, what happened to you? You are heartless monsters and should be deeply ashamed of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Please support our efforts to cover the fight in Elizabeth by becoming a paid member of Status Coup at statuscoup.com/join. And again, please make your voice heard. Tell the Union City Commissioners what you think of their turning the empty jail into a third ICE detention center in Elizabeth. See you in the next video.